So, a very good morning, student. Once again, welcome to you all for the online lecture series on railways, airport, and waterways. So, our course is actually designed on the subject known as railways, airport, and waterways. So, yesterday we have seen about the lecture one that was introduction, and today also we'll continue that introduction part only. So it will be the part 2 of the lecture 1. Till now we have covered the part 1 of the lecture 1, and lecture 1 is all about the development and organization of Indian railways. Okay, and till now we have covered so many topics which has to be included in the lecture 1. So before starting this lecture, I just want to tell you all that the content of this lecture 1 was divided into introduction, advantages of railways, development of Indian railways, that is IR, organization of railways, railway board, modern trains in railways, and technical terms, right? Until now, what we have covered is, till now we have covered the first of the fourth part. Okay, yesterday we have started about the railway board. So we have seen the introduction part. We have also seen the advantages of the railways. We have seen the development of the Indian railways as well as the organization of it. Okay, so it was the recap part of the lecture 1. Now in this lecture, we'll carry with the railway board part. Okay, so let us jump to the railway board part and just let us have a look on that what is the railway board part is actually. So this was about the railway board. Okay, so what is railway board? What does the railway board body does? Okay, railway board exercises all powers of central government in respect of regulation, construction, maintenance, and operation of the railway. Right. So every kind of if I will say that which is the body, which is the competent authority in respect of regulation, construction, maintenance, and operation, it is actually railway board. Okay, so railway board, what is the role of the railway board? The role of the railway board is to exercise the regulation, construction, maintenance, and operation. Right. Now, what are the different officers which the railway board consists of? Actually, railway board consists of a chairman. Okay, railway board is made of a chairman, then a financial commissioner, and 5 other functional members. Okay, so it consists of a chairman, financial commissioner, and 5 other functional members. Okay, chairman, what chairman does? Chairman reports to the minister for railway, right? And this the member of railway board are separately in charge of the matters relating to staff, civil, electrical, mechanical, and traffic. So if we have to divide this railway board section, we will divide it like this, that the first thing is that railway board, what it does, the function is about the regulation, construction, maintenance, and operation of railway. Okay, railway board consists of a chairman, a financial commissioner, and 5 other functional members, right? And what the chairman does? Chairman report to the minister of railway. Okay, it means the one of the competent authority for this all railway work is the railway minister. Okay, and below him is the chairman, and below him is the financial commissioner, and below him is the 5 other functional member. Okay, so it is made like this. It is made like this: railway minister, then chairman, then financial commissioner, then 5 other functional members, right? And what is the role actually, and what are the matters which are relating to these railway board members? Actually, it is related to staff, civil, electrical, mechanical, and traffic, right? Now, moving to the next slide, we can see that it was all about the railway board actually. So the railway board, we come to know that these are the 4 different roles of the railway board. Now, one thing I want to tell you that presently in Indian Railway there are 17 different zones. So how many zones are there in Indian Railway? It is 17 zones. Okay, so entire Indian Railway has been divided into 17 different zones. Okay, each zonal railway is administrated by general manager, who is the actually for each zone the competent authority is GM. See, it all started with the railway minister, followed by the chairman, financial commissioner, 5 other members, then different 17 zones, which is administrated by the general manager, administrated by the head of department of the different disciplines, namely civil engineering, mechanical engineering, operating, commercial, accounts, security, signal, telecommunication, and electrical, personal and medical. Okay, so these are the head of department of different disciplines. So we come to know that there are different disciplines in the railway, that is civil engineering, mechanical, etc. Right now, this zonal railway. See, first Indian Railways has been divided into 17 different zones. And now again this zonal railway is further divided into 3 to 6 divisions. It means each and every zone consists of 3 to 6 subdivisions, right? And each division work is under the control of Divisional Railway Manager, that is DRM, Divisional Railway Manager. So students, no need to be confused about these things. Just start with the railway ministry, followed by the chairman, then followed by the financial commissioner, then the 5 other functional members, then 17 different zones, which is headed by the your general manager. Then different disciplines are headed by the head of department, that is HOD. Okay, different department, that is mechanical, operating, commercial, accounts, and security. Then this zonal railway is again further divided into 3 to 6 divisions, and each division work is under the control of a minister manager, that is known as Divisional Railway Manager. Right. So what is the name? It is known as the Divisional Railway Manager. Right. So it was all about the organization of the railway. Right. Now let us look towards the next slide. So when we move to the next slide, so these divisional officers in charge of each discipline, okay, namely a divisional superintending engineer, that is DSC, or divisional engineer for civil engineering, ATC. Okay, we have seen that in previous slide. I told you that this division is under the control of DRM, that is Divisional Railway Manager. Right now, these divisional officers in charge of each discipline, namely Divisional Superintending Engineer, that is DSC, or Divisional Engineer for Civil Engineering, etc. DSC is normally the head of the unit in the division. What is the role of this DSC? That is Divisional Superintending Engineer. He is the head of the unit in the division. Okay. Under each DSC, there are 2 to 3 divisional engineers, that is DEN. Each DEN is assisted by 2 to 3 assistant engineers, that is AEN. The AEN has about 400 integrated track kilometers under his charge. Okay, and the AEN are assisted by the permanent way inspectors. Okay, so this is the all about the railway board. This all comes under the organization of the Indian Railway. Okay, so this is actually the hierarchy which is followed in the railway board. Railway board is a body for the regulation, construction, maintenance, and operation of the railway, which is headed by a chairman, financial commissioner, and 5 other functional members. Chairman reports to the minister for the railway. This railway board are the separately in charge of matters relating to staff, civil, electrical, mechanical, and traffic. Indian Railway is divided into 70 different zones. Each zonal railway is administered by the general manager and head of department of different discipline. Now this other this zonal railway is further subdivided into 3 to 6 divisions. Each division work under control of a divisional railway manager, that is DRM, right? These are the divisional officers in charge of each discipline, namely Divisional Superintendent Engineer, that is DSC, or Divisional Engineer for Civil Engineering. DSC is actually the head of the unit in the division. Under each DSC, there are 2 to 3 divisional engineers, that is DEN. Under each DEN, they are assisted by 2 to 3 AEN, that is assistant engineers. And now this AEN has about 400 integrated track kilometer under his charge, and the AENs are assisted by the permanent way inspectors, right? So this was all about the railway mode. Now come to the point about the modern trends in the railways. Okay, now what are the different modern trends which are being followed these days in the railways? Okay, we'll look towards that. So the different trends which are nowadays are followed on maglev, tube, and metro. Okay, now what are maglev trains? Okay, maglev trains is a technology of the trains based on the principle of magnetic repulsion, right? So if we talk about the maglev train, it is actually following the principle of the magnetic repulsion, right? So here we can see that the technology of such train is based on the principle of the magnetic repulsion, right? Maglev trains runs on a U-shaped guideway. You can see here, if the diagram is visible to you, it will be shared to your screen, that this trains actually runs on the U-shaped guideway. Okay, you can see here that it is a U-shaped guideway. Okay, so these maglev trains are actually working on the principle of magnetic repulsion, as well as these are running on the U-shaped guideway. The train as well as the guideway will be equipped with the magnets having south and north pole arranged alternatively, right? So here you can see the maglev train arrangement. These both are your beams, right? These both are of your beams, and this train works on the principle of magnetic repulsion. And here you can see the U-shaped guideway. Actually, this one and this one, both of them are known as guide, right? And what is the shape of this guideway? It is actually U shape. Okay, and this guideway is equipped with the magnet. Here you can see that it is equipped with the magnet. Okay, so so it will follow the principle of magnetic repulsion, right? And you can say you can see that these magnets have south and north pole arranged alternatively. So here you can see that south pole and north pole, these are arranged alternatively for these type of the maglev trains, right? So we'll look towards more concept about the tube railways, right? So we have seen what is the maglev train. Now we'll see about the tube railways. What are the tube railways, right? So if we'll talk about the tube railways, the railway provided underground at a greater depth of about 18 meter or more, up to 50 meter, are called tube. Okay, so see, to define the tube rail, we have to define it like this: the railway which have been provided underground. Okay, and what will be the depth? It will ranging from the 18 meter to the 52 meter, right? And these are known as the tube railways. Okay, the system of the railways is so called as a section of the underground tunnel carrying the track is to avoid the interference of the track with water, gas pipe, sewerage system, and oil or drainage pipes, etc. So what is the basic principle behind the tube rail is that the railway, it is provided underground. Okay, underground. And what is the depth? It actually varies between 18 meter to 52 meter. Okay, and why this arrangement is known as tube rail? Because the section of the underground tunnel carrying the track is to avoid the interference of the tracks with water, with gas pipes, sewerage system, and oil and drainage pipes. Okay, and what are the some important features? Now we'll look toward some of the important features of this tube railway. Okay, So the railway stations have to be of cylindrical form. The first feature is that the railway station for this kind of tube railway, it has to be of cylindrical form. Now, the second one is that the accelerators or moving stairs cases are to be constructed to reach the tube rail. Okay, so accelerator are mandatory for in the case of tube rails. Only electric traction to be used to avoid the smoke and the ventilation problem, right? Automatic signaling system is to be used, right? These are actually some of the features of the tube rail. Such a mechanism of the train is to be used that it cannot start until all the doors are closed, and it is automatically stopped if the signal is at the stop position. This system of railway is used by the London Post Office in transporting the mails through a small diameter tunnel with automatic control without any driver. So the basic idea behind this tube rail is that it should be, the mechanism should be automatic. Okay, it should automatically stop, it should automatically run, it should contain the different accelerators, electric traction, automatic signaling system, right? And nowadays, presently it is used by London Post Office in transporting the mails through a small diameter tunnel with automatic control without any driver, right? Now, moving towards the next slide is the till now we have seen two different trends. The first one was the maglev train, the second one was the tube rail. Now we'll see the metro. Nowadays it's a very famous, metro or rapid transit system. Metro, Delhi Metro, Jaipur Metro, Bangalore Metro. Okay, so a metro and a rapid transit system is a public transport system in an urban area with high capacity. So what are its basic feature? You can say the basic feature are that it is basically used in urban area, okay, with a high capacity, high frequency, not needing timetables. There is no require of timetable. Is a fast and is segregated from other traffic, operating on an exclusive right of way. Rapid transit system are typically grade separated and located either in underground tunnels, subways, or elevated above the street level elevated transit line. So the best example is the Delhi Railway. There you can see it doesn't follow any timetable. Okay, any fixed timetable is not followed. It has a very high frequency, right? Again, it has a very high capacity, okay, and it is very fast means of communication because it has been segregated from the other traffic. Okay, it is operating exclusively right of way. Rapid transit systems are typically grade separated and are located either in underground tunnels. You can also see that, you can discover it that whenever you will travel through Delhi Metro, then you can see that the area which comes under Chandni Chowk and Rajiv Chowk is actually underground. Okay, you can say subway. Okay, and some of the area such as Noida City Center, Noida Sector 18, these are at elevated above the street level. Okay, so these are basically the three different new trends which has been followed for in the railways. Okay, till now this metro and the rapid transit system has been also applied to has been also used by our country, right? But maglev trains and tube trains are not being introduced so far. Okay, work is going on. Okay, so this was all about the trends in the railways. Now we will look towards the important technical terms. Okay, so till now we have covered the introduction, Indian Railways organization, railway board, what are the different trends, right? Now, what I have done, I have prepared a slide for you, including the important technical terms. And the students, these important technical terms are actually has to be encountered by you while I will be delivering this entire course through this video platform, right? So in order to give you immediate concern, Okay, so I have divided into 6 to 7 different technical terms. These are actually very important concerning to railways. The first one you will encounter is the railway track. Okay, so whenever I'm going to say railway track, then the first thing which has to be pop up in your mind is a track is actually formed of rails of irons and steel along which trains are driven is known as railway. The first thing I will be telling you in the entire lecture is the railway track. So what is a railway track? It is a track formed of rails of iron or steel along which trains are to driven is known as railway track. In general, the term railway also include all lines of rails, slidings or branches. Okay. So first term is the railway track on which the rail on which the trains are to be driven, and these tracks are actually formed of iron or steel. Right. Now the second one is rolling stock. The locomotives, passenger coaches and goods wagon which roll on or run on railway tracks constitute of the rolling stock. Okay, so what is rolling stock? It is actually consisting of the locomotives, passenger coaches and goods wagon. So two technical terms are the railway track and the second one is the rolling stock. Okay, now moving to the third technical term. The third technical term is actually about the locomotive. Okay, so what are the locomotive? Locomotive is nothing. It is a mechanical device. So student, you no need to worry whenever I say that locomotive, or whenever I use the word locomotive. Locomotive actually is a mechanical device which transfers chemical energy of the fuel into the mechanical energy. So what is the basic rule or basic principle of locomotive is to transfer the chemical energy or fuel into mechanical energy in the form of the motion is called locomotive. The fuel used in the locomotive may be in the form of water, coal, diesel or electricity. Okay. Now the fourth one is the wagons. The good compartments are called wagons. Okay. So locomotive. What is locomotive? Locomotive is actually used to. It is a mechanical device which is used to carry the entire train. Okay. Now wagons. So these are the compartments, and these compartments are exclusively used for the carrying the goods. So the goods compartment are called wagons. This term applies only to the good stock, right? Now the fifth technical term which you will encounter is coaches or vehicles. So what are the coaches and vehicles? The passenger compartments are called coaches or vehicles. The good compartments are known as wagons. Okay, and the passenger compartments are known as coaches or the vehicles, right? So no need to confuse between these two terms, wagons and coaches. The wagons are actually for the good, okay, and the coaches and vehicles are for the passenger. So for whom it has been made? The passenger. So the passenger compartments are called actually as coaches or the vehicles, right? Now the sixth term is siding and ballast. Okay, what is siding? When a branch starting from the main line terminates at the dead end with a buffer stop is known as siding. Okay, so just suppose the railway track consists of the main line as well as the branch line, and when the branch line is starting from a main line and it is terminating at the dead end with a buffer stop, it is known as a siding. Okay, and what is ballast? Ballast is actually nothing. It is a granular material packed under and around the sleepers to transfer the load from the sleepers to subway. So what is the role of ballast is that you can see small pebbles. Okay, whenever you will travel through a train, okay, you can see small pebbles across the sleepers. Okay, the packaging of the sleeper has been done using this ballast. So it is a granular material packed under and around the sleeper to transfer the load from the sleeper to the sub. Okay. So these are actually the technical terms which you will encounter: railway track, rolling stock, locomotive, wagons, coaches or vehicles, siding, and the ballast. Okay. So this is all about the lecture one. So this lecture one actually started with the introduction parts, introduction, then advantages of railways. Okay. Then was a brief comparison between the rail transport and the road transport. Then the development of Indian Railway, which consists from the first 5-year plan to the 9 5-year plans, right? Organization of Indian Railway, that is IR, that then it is Railway Board. Okay, I told you how Railway Board has been divided and who is the competent authority of the different divisions. Then the modern trains in the railways, maglev, tube, metro. Then it was about the important technical term. Okay, so the important technical term. So this is all about the introduction part. From tomorrow lecture, we will cover about the permanent way. Now we will switch towards some of the technical terms of the railways. So thank you so much. If you have any query, you can write to me also regarding this entire lecture one, which has been further divided into part one and part two. So thank you so much. Have a nice day.